When you look at this game, first of all, you got to give credit to Arkansas. They really outplayed us in the second half, outscored us, in fact, shut us out the second half. So not a very good job there. We got to do a much better job coming out at halftime. But if you look at this game, to me, there's lots of things that we've got to do, obviously, to correct. The first thing is we got to play a lot cleaner game. All right, and that starts with me, starts with the coaching staff, and we didn't play very good the second half at times. Gave up a couple of big plays defensively. Again, just reverse in the first half. They bolted a guy across the middle right there. Again in the first half. 16 catches the ball down the sideline on a busted play when they had all day because we don't rush. Our outside backer doesn't rush there. So the quarterback held the ball for a long time, but you still should be able to match the patterns there. Give up a 9 ball when we got a guy double covered. We got to play better technique. So I thought that defensively, even though those things happen, I thought the kids fought trying to finish. There's 4 balls on the ground. We get 0 of them. And then offensively, first half we controlled the ball, knocking them off. But, there's 2 or 3 plays in the first half where we don't do very well on first down, whether it's not blocking the right guy or not finishing on a guy where we end up having to kick field goals. If we just stay on the guy, we got a chance to end up with 21 points instead of 13. So you got to score touchdowns when you get down there close, and we didn't do that. Second half, obviously Jarrett got hurt, wasn't able to finish the game, and just didn't get nothing going there.
Questions for Coach?
No.
Questions for Coach. We'll start with Vince Farrar, and then we'll go to Austin Price.
Jeremy, can you take us through your decision not to kick the field goal there with about 5 minutes to go, down 11, which could have got you guys to within 8?
We wasn't close enough. Didn't feel like. So, we felt like we had a good play there and just didn't get it done.
Austin Price.
Jeremy, what did you see out of Harrison there the last, 10 minutes or so when he was able to get in the game? I know you used him a lot just to hand off, but did he show you anything that you can feel some positives coming out of this?
I mean, we're running 4 verticals and they're dropping 8, and he didn't really try to force the ball. He took check downs, down the field, but based off the time there, he was going to have to probably force one in there. But it's something that he can learn from.
We'll go to David Oven, then David Pascal.
Yeah, Jeremy, what sort of influenced you to make that change to Harrison, and then also what is Jarrett's prognosis moving forward?
Well, I mean, the doctors just said he was out of the game, so we'll obviously see that over the next couple of days. Brian came in and Brian ran around a little bit, but couldn't get nothing going there, so we went with Harrison there.
Jeremy, I believe the last 4 games y'all have been outscored 61-7 in the third quarter. Has there been a common theme there? Why the struggles at the start of the second half?
Well, just looking back, obviously when you have an off week, you go back and do a lot of quality control, right? Just trying to figure out, it seems to me that we've had more penalties in the third quarter. We've had more turnovers in the third quarter. And then that's from an offensive standpoint. And tonight we got a penalty the first time we got the ball that puts us in, I believe it was second and 15 or second and 20, one of those two. And then we punt the ball where, it's a 4th and 4, 4th and 5. We made up the yards to gain, but just can't shoot ourselves in the foot there. And we've done that several times. and it was a motion penalty. So that's one of the big things. And then tonight you look at it defensively. I mean, just two explosive plays, so throwing the ball. They did put it together a really good drive there to start the third quarter there, running some hat plays and getting the tight end inside on our backers there. So we'll have to go back and look at it and fix it.
Are you worried there could be any mental carryover, that they could be tentative coming out of the halftime locker room given what's transpired?
No, I don't think so. I think one thing that our players know is we have a lot of smart guys, right? And when we make mistakes, they can recognize it. They know what it takes to execute. We've done it at times pretty good, but we've not done it consistently the entire year. And that's obviously something that we've got to get to if we're going to be able to beat guys in our league.
Gustavo and then Blake Topmeyer.
Coach, you had a first half, you guys shut out Arkansas, but then you guys went into the second half and couldn't hold it. Do you think the defense kind of was struggling to cover slant routes? Do you think that was the reason that you guys couldn't hold it in the second half?
Well, no. The 70-yard play was a 9 route when they outside release us over there. And then the other play that 16 caught coming back across was just a scramble play where you ran out the backside, and we should have had a backside safety back there, but we didn't. So, I mean, that's 140 yards on 2 plays and basically set up 2 scores, and they had 1 drive there to start the quarter.
Blake?
Yeah, Jeremy, we didn't see much of Ty Chandler tonight. Is there something affecting him? And then why didn't Alante and Schamberger travel today?
Alante's been hurt pretty much the entire year. He pulled his hamstring back in fall camp, and he's worked really hard. And I know he's frustrated trying to get to where he can play full speed. Schamberger just didn't make the trip, and Ty's been he hurt his ankle obviously in the last game and just hadn't got over it.
And then, with the situation here, 4 losses in a row, and do you have a sense for kind of where your team is at mentally right now? Do you have a read on that?
Well, I just talked to him, and I told him, I said, I'm not discouraged. I'm not disappointed with where we're at. I'm pissed off where we're at, obviously. But, it's like I told the players, I've been a part of really good programs. I know how to get there. And we have to learn to play at a higher level on Saturdays. So when I got the tight end to the flat, I got to take the tight end to the flat. Okay. When we're playing 2 trap and they throw a ball out in the flat, they shouldn't be able to catch the ball. If I'm supposed to poach on the backside on a post, we've got to be there. If I got 4 and first crosser, I've got to be there. Just the execution part is not where it's at, which is my fault. It's not the players. It's my fault. And we've got to work hard to get them there, so, and the guys understand that. I really like the character of the people in our room. But we've got to be able to execute at a higher level if we want to finish the way we want to finish.
We'll go to Gentry Estes, then Trey Wallace.
Yeah, Jeremy, kind of piggybacking on that. I know last season's team, improved a good bit as it went. You talked a lot about that at the time. Have you gotten the sense there's been improvement with this group the way you would have liked it?
Well, there's certain areas that have improved. I mean, we've got some guys that, if you just look at our team, on the defensive side, we've had guys that have battled injuries in and out all year, and maybe they hadn't played their best ball, but in my opinion, a lot of it is because of time loss. It's been an unusual year for some of these guys. That's why I'm not discouraged. I know we've got guys that's got good character, got good ability, and maybe we hadn't played our best. Maybe we hadn't coached our best, right? But I believe in these guys, and we'll get it fixed. You know, we got a young football team. If you look at our team, there's very few of them that's been through a spring football practice, right? So they've got a lot to learn, and we've got to perform a little better.
Trey?
Jeremy, the decision to not bring JT Shrout to Fayetteville, was that something y'all have just worked on the last couple of weeks and kind of made a decision to just bring 3 quarterbacks compared to earlier in the season?
No, we had a couple of guys that we didn't know whether or not we were going to be able to bring them. Ty Chandler being one, Alante Taylor, Brent Samaglia has been, kind of nursing a sore leg there. So just trying to figure out the 70 and getting the right numbers. That was one of the reasons we did that.
Coach has got time for a couple more. We'll go to Ryan Cruz, then Jimmy Himes.
So looking at the stats, rushing obviously outweighed passing by a factor of 50 to 21. Was that more a factor of reliance on the running game or lack of trust in the quarterback position or the receiving game?
Yeah, well, I think it's a lot. Number one, we feel like that's probably a strength of our team is our O-line. Another thing is the way Arkansas has played defensively this year. They've done a lot of 8 drops, a lot of zone drops, and just not having a lot of holes there. I think we had a really good game plan the first half. First half it's 13-0 on both sides of the ball. I think our execution was a little higher. Second half, got to make some adjustments. We got to be more aggressive throwing the ball down the field. I think we've got some weapons out there. Jared got hurt and got a new guy in there and really just didn't ever get in a rhythm offensively the second half.
Jeremy, sorry if you were asked this. You were down 11 and you had an opportunity to kick about a 42-yard field goal. You went for it there. Did you consider the field goal at that point?
Well, I felt like we were at a good spot, Jimmy. But to get the first down, we knew that we needed 2 scores. It's 3rd and 3 or 4th and 3 there, I guess is what it was. So, and again, I know Samaglia had made a couple there, but again, he was kind of a game time decision there, and just felt like that was probably the best spot at the time.
And also, just talk a little bit about how you did run the football and control the clock in the first half. Did the game plan go as you had designed in those first 30 minutes?
Yeah, I felt like we'd done a nice job offensively, controlling the clock. But there was several plays out there that we just didn't finish blocks on, it was that got us into 3rd and 6s and 3rd and 5s. That I felt like if it was 3rd and 1s or 2s, you got a higher probability of converting. So obviously we've got to fix that.